Hey everyone, I'm Joseph Bilal Brewer, and today I'll be giving my profile presentation on Dr. Mark L. Sundberg. Grab some popcorn, relax, and be ready to learn more about an important figurehead in our field. Mark L. Sundberg is a person you may not know, but he is a very vitally important part to the development of how we understand verbal behavior and how we as behavior analysts intervene. Dr. Sundberg is a BCBA with a doctorate degree in applied behavior analysis from Western Michigan University. At WMU, he was under the tutelage of Jack Michael, the author of Concepts and Principles of Behavior Analysis. Dr. Sundberg is the creator of the VB Map, or the Verbal Behavior Milestones Assessment and Placement, and he co-authored the first edition of the A-Balls, the Assessment of Basic Language and Learning Skills. In addition, Dr. Sundberg has published over 50 professional papers, 4 book chapters, given hundreds of conference presentations and workshops both domestically and internationally. Dr. Sundberg has over 40 years of clinical experience and was awarded the Distinguished Psychology Department Alumnus Award at WMU and the Jack Michael Outstanding Contribution to Verbal Behavior Award. I was unable to find any additional background information or personal information due to the limited information across the web and through the GMU library about Dr. Sundberg. So I'll move on to talk about Dr. Sundberg's work as a graduate student. Dr. Sundberg had many works during his time at Western Michigan University, but the 5 I listed were the articles that stuck out to me. The reason is his literature revolves around teaching, and his main topic of focus is verbal behavior and its relations to various populations. Dr. Sundberg has publications on individuals who have hearing impairments, nonverbal, and socio-intellectual deficits in the natural environment. One of his earliest works before he graduated was his article on the behavioral analysis and applications of sign language. In his article, he analyzed the functional intricacies of verbal behavior and concluded that non-vocal languages should be considered a form of verbal behavior due to the similar functionality with vocal languages. In the same year, Dr. Sundberg developed his first article that he considered a program for teaching verbal behavior to a person whose language is absent or defective. In his article, he used the conceptual tools of Skinner's verbal behavior in 1957 to provide a framework for individuals with language deficits. Dr. Sundberg's works were very significant findings and helped grow how we understand verbal behavior today. Next, I'm going to speak about the questions I would have asked had I been granted the wonderful opportunity to interview Mark L. Sundberg. My reasoning behind the first question was because I've been around a lot of BCBAs and I've heard a lot of unique reasons as to what their motivation was to become a BCBA. So that's always an interesting question. The next question I would love to hear the answer to because first off, a lot of people now don't know what a BCBA is and the inner workings of being a behavior analyst. I'd love to hear what his perception was nearly 40 years ago. The next one is always a fun question to ask with typically an interesting answer. And the last 3 would conclude my interview and allow me to get a better understanding of Dr. Sundberg's life and hopes for the future. Lastly, why Dr. Sundberg is important in our field. Dr. Sundberg is one of the major pillars that laid the groundwork for how we conduct and intervene using verbal behavior assessments. The Verbal Behavior Milestone Assessment and Placement Program, or the VB Map, is an assessment tool used to assess an individual's acquisitions of 5 components in which collectively assess a client's baseline level of their development, as well as a direction for intervention, a system for tracking skill acquisitions, and a tool for measuring outcomes, and a framework for curriculum planning. Sundberg also co-authored the Assessment of Basic Language and Learning Skills, or the A-Balls, which is another assessment that allows administrators to examine the deficits in individuals' academic, motor, self-help, and language skills. His work has significantly impacted clinical practice through and because of his continued development of assessments that he has a hand in assisting and developing. In addition to these clinical assessments, Sundberg's published articles can be looked at as a baseline start to how we would now intervene with individuals towards acquiring and developing various skills, including language. Thank you all so much for listening to my presentation. I really hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about a very important pillar in our field. Thank you all. I loved having this class with you all so much. I hope you have a great time throughout the rest of your December and happy holidays to you. Thanks again.